We've shown you papers that could shed light on how taxes paid by people in this country may be used to stop what Russia's up to there and way beyond. By all means, a freshly leaked memo could help clarify the very means.
We'll need to go beyond old-style military romps and get entertainment outputs that draw out the nature of 21st century conflict, diffuse across society without clear boundaries at times.
For now, no one can say for sure who wrote it, but this very file's title bears the name Victor Madeira. He's a leading researcher at the parent body of Integrity Initiative, and his name has been seen in earlier leaks. Anyway, the author, whoever it really was, wants to get as many of the elements of the entertainment industry as possible on board, all in a bid to deal with all that propaganda from authoritarian strongholds, i.e. Russia, China, and others. In the How to Use segment, he suggests that experts should articulate
how US and other global entertainment powerhouses can improve and coordinate so that output messaging converges to bolster shared democratic values, but with locally relevant content.
See? It's okay to feed people propaganda through movies, TV shows, music, as long as it's the right propaganda. Let's read further into the paper.
It would be a grave oversight, I feel, to focus exclusively on the USA. The Five Eyes countries, the US, UK, Canada, Australia and New Zealand, have unrivaled influence. Let's not forget other core players worldwide. Even Russian and Chinese entertainment communities should not be out of bounds for Western support. For example, the fantastic Russian film Leviathan.
Hold on, Leviathan? That was the movie that beat the hell out of corrupt Russian state and church officials. The fact is, more than a third of its budget came from Russia's government. Oops. But even without getting experts like Martha Bales and Nick Cull, RT's written to them, by the way, to find out if and how they're involved, without getting these experts publicly or privately before relevant government committees in the core markets above, hasn't the Western entertainment industry already been drawing a backwards or even evil image of Russia for decades?
I must break you.
A simple yes will do. So, we will do this old-fashioned way.
From this day forward, you will become sparrows. Weapons in a global struggle for power.
Well, if that's not enough, it might be up to the UK Foreign Office to spend some of its cash on making directors come up with scarier stuff. That's, of course, if the leaked files are real.
The Integrity Initiative earlier admitted its documents had been hacked, but denied any covert type of activities. British opposition MP Chris Williamson, whose party leader's also been allegedly targeted by the organisation, conducted his own investigation into how it operates. He shared his findings with RT's Going Underground, which you can watch here later today.
What was it like? You went to the registered address of the Institute?
Well, there were two addresses. They have a registered address in Scotland, and it's at the end of this remote dirt track, actually, and it was the dead of night when we arrived there, and it was rather spooky, I've got to say. And when I reached the end of this dirt track, I was confronted with this semi-derelict mill. There were one or two lights on in a couple of the units there, and I did speak to some of the people who had businesses located at the mill. They'd never heard of the Institute of Statecraft. One of them said his dad had mentioned something that was in the newspaper about some shady organisation based in Oktamuchi, which is the village close by. But that was as much as he knew about it. And I then went to their offices in London, just near Temple Station. And bear in mind, this is a state-funded organisation. Bearing in mind as well that I am a member of Parliament here, and therefore, because we were being stonewalled by ministers in terms of the written parliamentary questions and indeed the oral questions that we tabled on the floor of the House of Commons, I thought, well, I'll try and ask some questions directly to the organisation, see if they can clarify anything. And I was met with a very hostile reception. I mean, shouted at, and the door slammed in my face. Now, for an organisation which is receiving nearly £2.5 million in the last 18 months from the government in this country,
The taxpayer.
from the taxpayer, absolutely, to treat a member of parliament in that way poses a number of questions, doesn't it?